Okay, welcome back to the next chapter. So what I'm going to do today is start on the bass reeds. Now the bass reeds are arranged on this reed block and they're laid horizontally like this. And you often find these orientation of reeds in a concertina, where they haven't got the space to have them going that way, so they're lying flat. And so you can see actually, but the air is going to go through these holes and operate these reeds. Now I'm not going to swap these reeds out for some other reeds because I haven't got the right size of reeds, and they have to be a specific size to fit into this kind of funny reed block. So what I'm going to do with these ones, I'm going to take them out, clean them, check the reed tip height, make sure that's all correct, revalve them, rewax them, and go with these. So I think it will sound fine. It's nice to have the high quality ones on the treble side for the melody, but for the chords I'm hoping that these will sound fine, and they probably will. I just haven't got the right reeds to match the size of these ones. Before I take these ones out, because they're in a funny kind of order, I've drawn myself a little map, you can see that, of where each reed is and what note it is, so that when I come to put them back in again, I'm sure that I'm going to get all these in the right order so that they will sound correct. So what I'm going to do is take these reeds out, like I did with the other lot, and just carefully get them out. And I'm also going to flatten the bass. And I don't know if you can see this, but this is actually quite bowed. So I'm going to do quite a lot of flattening on this. I won't try and straighten it and crack, but I'm going to do quite a lot of flattening on this because it is quite bowed, and get the reeds out. So when I've got the reeds out and got it flat, I'll show you what it all looks like. Okay, that took quite a while trying to get this flat, and I've got it as flat as I can, and that'll make a huge difference to the way that seals into the bass section in here. There's a bit of felt in there, but it will just sit nice and flat and should make quite a difference to the sealing of the reed block. So that's good. So what I'm going to do is just take off all the valves off these reeds, give them a little clean up, just take off as much glue and wax that I can, pop them in the ultrasonic cleaner for about 15 minutes, and then once I've got them out, I'll just check the reed heights, tip heights, and valve them up. So once I've got them clean, I'll show you again, and I'll then show you how I check the reed tip heights and the revolving. Okay, so here are the reeds. They've all shined up nicely. I think they're going to be fine. Although they're a little bit cheap, I think they actually have cleaned up all right, and they've got quite a nice ping to them. So I think they'll be fine. So before I valve them, what I'm going to do is have a look at the distance between the tip of the reed tongue and the reed plate. Now what I'm looking for is about the same gap between the reed tongue and the reed plate as the actual thickness of the reed, the actual how thick it is, how thick the metal is. So in this case this is about 1 mil, but the gap, I don't know, it's very difficult to show it, but the gap is probably more like 2 or 3. So that reed tip height is quite a lot too high. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little fine point here, and I'm going to just push that reed carefully down from the middle of the reed, not from the end because that won't do anything. Just a bit close, quite close to the rivet end really. And I'm just going to encourage that into position. Now because these reeds are quite soft, I just realised that they bend really easily, so I'm just going to be really careful with these, because actually, so if I need to go up a bit, I just got my blade, just carefully lift it. These reeds are very easy to bend because they're so thin. So, oh my god. Right, okay, I'm going to have to be really careful with these. Okay, but that's what I'm going to do. That's better. But I'm going to be really careful with these because they're so thin that they only need a teensy weensy bit of manoeuvring. So I'm going to use this for pushing down, and this just slightly lifting up. So I'm going to go around all the reeds and just check the tip height. And when I've done that, I'm going to get my valves ready. Okay, actually I'm going to use the same valves for all of these because these multi-layer valves work for all of the reeds. Just some need a little bit of trimming, so that's all good. So next step is to get my glue ready and just start to valve up the reeds. So just get that ready. So I'm just going to use a little bit of this Pattern shoe glue, which is perfect for the job. Get my little brush, and what I'm going to do is just, as I did before, it's just a little square of glue, just enough, butt it up to the rivet. There we go. So I'll go along and do all those, and I'll show you when they've all been valved up. And there we are. So they're all now all valved up, all looking ready to go. So I'm going to leave the glue on the valves to dry, and then I'm just going to trim any excess off the valves. And once that's all trimmed up, I'm going to heat up the reed wax and start waxing them in, making sure I follow my little map that I made, or plan of the reed block, to make sure that all these are going in the right place. So I'll leave these for a bit, and then I'll come back and I'm just going to trim and then wax them into the reed block. Righty, okie dokie cokey. Now start to just trim the reeds. So I'm going to get some sharp scissors, and I'm going to just trim the reeds, trim the valves. Cut the valve just level with the end of the slot, and if I trim the valve, I'll just trim the second layer by the same amount. So quite straightforward, just got to be careful with a nice pair of sharp scissors, and these are hairdressing scissors. So I won't show you doing it, but that's what I'm going to be doing like that next. Okay, so I'll just show you this. So I've got my reeds arranged in the same order as they came out of the reed block. So I've just got a little map here of where they all go, which way round they go next to the reed block. So I'm going to have that in front of me as I wax in the reeds, and I'm going to do the centre reeds first, so that I can actually get to them nice and easy, get all around them, and then do the outside reeds. So I'm just waiting for the wax to finally get to temperature, and this is something I use like a chromatic pitch pipe, so that when I'm checking a reed pitch, I can just check all the notes by just pinging them gently against this little pitch pipe thing, which is all the notes of the chromatic scale. So that's quite handy to have just as a quick reference. So I always use one of these. Put that back for a minute. Right, so just going to wait for this wax to finally get to temperature, then I'll show you the first few reeds that I'm going to wax in. Okay, so I'm going to start waxing them in now. So I'm going to get my first reed, and just get the wax moved a bit further over. That should do it. Got my little cloth just to catch any drips. Okay, that's it. A bit tricky, this one. Not as normal, not your normal kind of waxing in process. So just going to go around the edge I normally do. into place, and then carefully. Oh, this is quite tricky. There's not a lot of room to play with. And the edge. And then just go around all the edges. There we are. Got the first one in, so what I'm just going to carry on and get all those waxed in. I'll show you when I've done it. Okay, and there we have it. So that's all now waxed in, so I'll leave that to settle, just to cool down before I pop it into the accordion and see how it sounds. So I'll leave this one for now, and I'll just show another little clip of it in the accordion and seeing what these sound like. Okay, back in the tick. Okay, so moment of truth. So what I'm going to do now is put the reed block in, make sure I get it the right way round. It's very important, otherwise it won't sound proper. So I'm going to pop it in, pop the screws in, put the accordion back together again. So once I've got it together, I'll give it a little play for everybody. Okay, so just got them all in. So I'm going to play a little tune with the. Hopefully, can you see what it sounds like? So there we go. So I think it's definitely improving all the time. I think the bass side needs a little bit of tuning, and the treble side just needs a tiny bit of sorting out, but well on its way. Now in the next little set of videos, I think what I'm going to do a little bit of sorting out, some tuning on the treble and bass. But the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to renew the palettes on the bass side as well, because they need doing, and the air button as well. So that'll be in the next video. Okay.